How's everybody doing tonight? We have another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys here. We got Trevor, ex-pro Cole Peterson here, and Nate Stice. How the fuck are we doing, fellas?
Doing fantastic, DB. How you doing, my friend?
It's just a pleasure and it's an honor to have you guys back again. Cole, I can't believe you came back after that very interesting episode. A lot of comments with the little segment I put on Instagram there. I apologize for that. But we have big news real quick, fellas, before we get in. So we got this giveaway. We got a signed Hines Ward card here. If you're commenting or subscribed to the channel, comment, follow along with the show. You don't have to stay for the whole show. I understand it's but no, school's out. So what the fuck are you know what I mean? But yeah, you could stay here all night. Summer's, started. So, but I know there's a lot of things we got to touch on here, but NFL news. So how do you guys all feel about Isaiah Rodgers and the violations of gambling policy? How do we feel here?
Not alone. He's one of the many that have been doing it as of late. It seems really silly to me that like these guys keep doing it because they've literally announced like, hey, literally the companies are telling us if you're doing it, there's no way around it. So you got to figure something out, fellas. Whether it's just quit doing it or do it under the table. Not that I'm advocating for that, but you got to figure out something, It's just silliness. Like they're making so much guaranteed money. It's not worth the truly the pennies that they're betting in this. So yeah, this is kind of how I feel about it.
Okay. Cole?
Yeah, I was to your point, Nate, I was listening to Queen earlier, and the song "Another One Bites the Dust" came on, and I immediately thought of this little situation with Isaiah Rodgers. Like you said, they keep warning people, they keep telling people, and they're not done making examples out of guys. And this is why they're doing it, because guys just keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. Now, I wish they would have made more examples out of guys that have committed sexual assault, but that's neither here nor there. We don't really have to get into that. We can just kind of focus on the gambling aspect of it. But yeah, he's been warned. Other players have been warned. We'll probably see another violation or 2 or 3 or 7 or 10 before this is all said and done, but we'll see.
Cole?
I mean, they covered it to his point. Yeah, they slap you harder with gambling than they do if you have a sexual assault or something like that. Kind of, upside down, a little messed up. But yeah, I don't understand why they keep doing it. I mean, Calvin Ridley got suspended for it last year, and I think there was a handful of guys before Isaiah Rodgers that got it. I think there was Jameson Williams, right? I think from the Lions was one.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I know that because he's on one of my fantasy teams, like a future fantasy team, so he ain't playing this year. But yeah, I don't know. There's like Nate said, there ain't no getting around it unless you're doing it under the table, and that's the only way. Not to promote it or anything, but I mean, companies will turn your name in if you're an athlete betting on football.
Right. Well, I'm going to be honest. I would have bet on myself if that was, if I remember, think back to high school, I would have put some bets down with some kids from school. You think I'm going to win this race? Yeah, I'll fucking take. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, NCAA, I hope you're not watching this. I would have done it in college too. But the Bonnies, we weren't the best at cross country. I mean, we kind of got our ass kicked once in a while, but I don't know. It is what it is. But he seems like he's here's the question though: if he wouldn't have gotten caught, would he felt bad? That's always what I say. But I don't know. He's saying he's taking full responsibility. He's better. He's doing better than John Moran. You know what I mean? So. But hold on here. What else do we got, fellas? Okay. We got to touch on this too. Travis Kelce's thing yesterday. Patrick Mahomes should have let him talk. What the fuck?
Just let him go.
No, Nate.
I don't give a crap what those two are up to. I'm so tired of them. Sorry, here. I'm already sick of them. Like, they're just going to turn into a New England, and it's going to be that team that I hate in the AFC for the next 15 to 17 years. And I'm sure Cole understands being a Raiders fan. Sorry to rub it in your face. Not trying to at all.
No,
I really
you're
hope
good.
the Raiders and everybody else beats the crap out of them. I'm already tired of them. They were the cool new thing at first when they were started winning. I could care less what those two are up to. It's whatever. I think Mahomes is a pretty respectful guy. Kelce's hit or miss. He's had moments where he's jackwagon and moments where he's seems like a pretty humble guy. But yeah, I don't care what those two are up to. It makes no freaking difference to me. I just hope that somebody knocks them off. That's kind of what I hope. Sick of their dynasty here. It's been, 7 years in a row they won the AFC West or something of the sort. So it's like
might as well just chalk up 8 after this season.
I hope not. But it looks pretty
hope not
promising.
too, but they're too good. They're too good. Trust me, I sit there and watch them slap the shit out of the Raiders twice a year, and it gets old. But they're just good. But I feel the same way as you. I'm tired of them already. I hope someone takes them off their high horse. But I mean, they're just good, and I don't know who's gonna do it. But hopefully, it's somebody. And yeah, I'm tired of seeing their bullshit too. Honestly, to me, they're like, I like to compare them kind of like LeBron James. Like, they're so good at what they do, but they are the biggest babies in the world. Always complaining for a call or a flag or something. I feel the same way. It just drives me up a wall.
Yep.
So it kind of reminds you of VCC basketball. Is that what you're saying when we face we'd say, hey, Cole's walking over there. Cole's walking now. He do that Euro step. That's a walk. Anyways, Trevor, what do you think here?
Well, I know Travis Kelce ain't going to read off a teleprompter, but to be quite honest, he's not even my favorite Kelce.
Yeah,
Donna.
I like Jason.
Donna's my favorite Kelce. Yeah, she's the goat. She's the goat mom.
She is.
Yeah, but yeah, it was funny. Made for a good clip. It'll make for a good conversation on their podcast. I will admit their podcast is pretty entertaining. Jason a lot of times will bring his kids on and they'll just kind of have like little tender moments and stuff like that. And they'll talk about all kinds of stuff. I forget what they name their fans. They name their fans something, the 92 percenters or something like that. So yeah, a couple entertaining guys. But yeah, other than that,
I agree. No, Nate, I'll tell you this though. If you and me went to the White House, you would probably have to do that so I didn't speak into the mic. You would probably be Patrick Mahomes grabbing me, trying not to speak into the microphone if we went to the White House together.
I hope he'd let you go. I'd like to see what you'd have to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think I'd have to wait a year or a few months, hopefully, maybe that I'd go. I don't think I'd go right now.
All right. But anyways, so me and Trevor talked a little bit before the show here. I threw this statistic out. I just can't wait to see your guys' reaction. So it's been 10,000 days since the Dallas Cowboys last played an NFC Championship. I was trying to find something just to dig at the Cowboys because we've been on a hiatus with that. So I found it. It is a great day. It's a beautiful thing. Do you think they ever make it back here with Dak and them?
No,
not with Dak.
Not with Dak.
Either. No, that franchise is kind of coming apart at the seams as we speak.
Okay.
Until they hit the reset button, until they move on from Dak, Zeke, and all these guys here. Maybe like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, those guys later in their career can contribute to the rebuild, but I just don't see it happening under the current regime and under with the players that they have now. And I'm here for it. I love to dig at the Cowboys as well. 10,000 days. I told you right before the show, Drew, that was about 2 years before I was born. So I'll take that any day of the week. They can go another 25 plus years without winning another NFC or being in an NFC championship game. That's the statistic, being in the NFC championship.
Just being in it. Yeah.
Being in it. Yeah. So yeah, they can go the rest of if I die and the Cowboys haven't made it to the NFC championship, I will die a happy man.
Well, I think we gotta, and I've said it so many fucking times, and I know it's getting old for the viewers out there, but the chicken fingers, you got to get Mike McCarthy out of there, okay? Because he ain't worried about shit. If he ain't getting his fucking chicken fingers, dude, he's not. He's not. You're not gonna have a good game. It's just like Dan Campbell with his chew. If he doesn't have or not Dan, who the hell was it? Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel doesn't have a chew in the bottom lip, they don't win. I don't know what the statistics are on that, but I've seen them lose a lot of games without the chew in the bottom lip. But one other thing too, and then I'm going to throw something at you guys just to spice it up a little bit here. Cole, I don't want to break your heart, and we could have a moment of silence if you want me to. Jimmy Garoppolo might not even play a snap for the Raiders.
Oh, I know. I read that the other day. It's hilarious.
So,
it's something that would happen to the Raiders.
Trevor, you have, I don't know if you want to say it, but you said it. Who do they have coming in, filling in case?
Oh, Hoyer,
Yeah.
expatriate, of course,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that Aiden O'Connell, who I saw. I think I saw it on Instagram. It was a meme that said Aiden O'Connell looks like Derek Carr if he played Derek Carr in a movie, something like that. So I guess those are your two options. I know they have a third guy. His name I don't recall at the moment, but
Chase
Yeah.
Carver.
yeah.
I
They're
guess
in trouble.
I think he's going to be fine, though. I mean, foot surgery in May. Okay, I got to figure this out here. How many months till
Dude,
August then?
He's just a
It'll
walking
be
injury.
2 or 3 months. Well, I told you he's more focused
True.
on the porn stars, Cole. I mean,
Yeah.
I forgot he's at the
He's-
Playboy Mansion, just having the fucking time of his life. I wouldn't throw a pass if I could hang out up there. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, how many years in a row has he gotten hurt and not even finished the season with the 49ers?
Well,
It was probably
Kinda
like four different seasons he was hurt. You
Yeah.
know, it was
Yeah.
it was a lot. When he was healthy, though, they were dang good, and even
Yeah.
without him, they were dang good. You know, he just
Yeah, I'm not surprised by it. I'm just
Right.
it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. I mean,
the one
whatever.
thing about it is they structured his contract. If he doesn't play, then they don't owe him a lot of money. So
Yeah.
that was
That's-
one thing that they actually kind of look smart for. They probably never thought that would happen, but they probably were weary because of all the injury history he's had. It seems like just every little tweak and tear he could possibly have, he has, whether it's knee, ankle, or foot. He seemed to have had it over the last 6-8 years. So
The fact that they went back into his contract to put that in there goes to show that it's
Right.
not looking good.
Yeah.
They're trying to play it off like, oh, he'll probably be back and be good, which I hope he is.
Yeah.
But for them to go back and do that, which is very smart, but it doesn't make anything look any better than what the media is putting out there.
right.
Cole, I love you like a goddamn brother, but I just got to be honest with you. Would you compare this to Jamarcus Russell fuck ups? You kick Derek Carr out, and then you bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, and it does no. Would this
Nothing will ever beat.
okay?
Nothing will ever beat Jamarcus Russell.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right. I'm just trying to soften the blow and bring that up. So you think about that and not what the fuck's going on right now.
We're just gonna wear that right hook to the face. Nothing's ever gonna replace Jamarcus Russell. Plus, I was over Derek Carr anyways. I'm tired of his shit. He can get out of there.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. But
Way to make him feel good, Drew. This isn't the worst thing that happened to your franchise in this
Yeah.
century.
Yeah, but it's close. I mean, it's comparable. So like, here you go.
it's kind of like I go to this coffee place. Cole, let me give you this analogy, and that'll make you feel better, okay? Because I've been in these situations that I don't understand what the fuck's going on. It's kind of like you go to this coffee shop, okay, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is the greatest cup of coffee you'll ever try," and then you try it, and it tastes like absolute dog shit. That's what I would compare this situation to.
Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate description.
But
right there.
we're going to move on from bashing the Raiders because I love Cole too much. All right. Who would you say could be the hard knock team for 2023? Because they can't find anybody. NFL can't find anybody. Who should they pick for that documentary?
Man.
I can throw a couple teams out here that I thought. I definitely think the Bears or the Saints or the Jets, I think could easily be top contenders.
Yeah.
Jets would be a good one. They should just go back to the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, Rodgers, they could get his fucking girlfriend. I'm telling you, with the peyote. That would be good. They'd love that. That'd get ratings. But I don't know. I think the Bears would be a good one. Windy City. It's kind of a clusterfuck over there. We're going to actually have Chicago Steve coming on soon. I can't wait for that. But Nate, who do you think? Anybody?
How do they pick it? Is there any rhyme or reason or pattern to it? Because it doesn't seem like it is, but I don't know. I think that the teams you suggested were pretty good. I would kind of like to – I wouldn't mind seeing the Green Bay Packers without Rodgers because there's so many questions about what's going to happen there. We were talking – I'm obviously a Penn State football fan, and some of my buddies and I were talking this weekend. It's very possible if Jordan Love goes down that Sean Clifford could be the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, and that's just truly unfathomable that man was even picked, in my opinion.
He's so bad.
He's not very good. There's a reason, in my opinion. He was a 6-year guy at Penn State. May have not even been the best quarterback on the roster last year, but they were just kind of afraid to give the keys to State College to Drew Aller a little bit too quickly. But I don't know. The Packers, I think, would be intriguing because nobody knows how good Jordan Love is. I mean, he's had flashes, but he's mostly sat. And there's a lot. It's weird to not have a Favre or Rodgers, that were there for how many years? 30 years straight between the two of them or something. So I don't know. That one would be interesting to me.
No, I would agree. Trevor, you agree with that? I think Packers. That.
Yeah. So I was kind of looking it up. Nate asked the question, how do they pick this thing? And I don't really have an answer for that, but there is, I don't know, there's these rules out there, I guess, that if any of these three apply to you, you don't have to accept the Hard Knocks. You don't have to be on Hard Knocks. If they have a first-year head coach, if the team is at a playoff berth in the past 2 years, or if they've appeared on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years. That's according to CBS Sports. So of the teams that we've mentioned, the Jets would probably be the leading candidate there, I would say, because Saleh's not a first-year head coach. They haven't been to the playoffs since the Sanchez era. And I don't believe they've been on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years because they just kind of revived Hard Knocks, what was it, like 3 or 4 years ago, something like that, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
The Jets would be good. One that I would like to see too is the Bengals, just because of the weight of the expectations on them right now, and the fact that a lot of guys that are really key for them are coming up on their contract years. So there's might be tension there. T. Higgins is going to want his. Jamar Chase is going to want his. They're going to eventually have to pay these guys and try and keep this team together. But we'll see what happens. I have all the faith in the world in Joe Burrow. I really just hate that he's in the Steelers division, and we're going to have to deal with him for the next 15 years. But I'd like to see the Bengals there just because of the weighty expectations. They're expected to be, one of the leading candidates out of the AFC, them and probably the Bills and obviously the Chiefs. Pretty much the same three as last year that were favorites. So I'd like to see the Bengals.
Yeah, I fucking hate Joe Burrow. He's a pretty boy. I'm just going to leave it at that. But one more thing I just want to throw out here. Have you guys seen the goddamn disaster in Tampa Bay Buccaneers practices? I mean, holy shit. I mean, life after Brady is not looking good. I've never played quarterback, but I think I could hit some of those passes, Nate. I mean, holy shit. I mean, they're just normal routes, and the guy has to literally, probably injure himself just to try to catch the damn ball. Holy shit.
That's how they want it. I don't think they want to win football games this year. I mean, they're going to have some of these vets on the team, and they're going to get their empty stats. Mike Evans is a stat machine. I think he's got the record for most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to start a career. He is an absolute monster. He's going to get his. I don't think it matters what guy's throwing him the rock. It wouldn't even matter. But yeah, I don't think they're concerned about winning football games this year. I think they're concerned about getting a high pick next year and rebuilding this thing. They did a heck of a job constructing a roster that was competitive for all 3 years of Brady's tenure, and now it's time to go back to the drawing board, build through the draft, and make sure that they pitch to free agents. Hey, we don't have income tax in our state, so make sure you come down here and play for us. So I don't think it'll take them long, although they're still, even if they did win a Super Bowl within the last 3 years, they're still the most losing franchise in the history of the NFL. So they still have that tendency. So it's going to be interesting, but they're going to try to rebuild. We'll see what happens.
Cole, would you agree they're tanking this year?
That's the way it's looking.
I mean, I just fucking hate that. I can't be a part of that. I just I just asked you a question. I'm fucking keeping going. Just real quick. The Steelers could have easily did that.
Yeah.
Ben's year. They could have just said fuck it, but they still went to the playoffs. And I knew they were going to get their ass kicked by the Chiefs, Nate. I knew it. I'd rather have that than someone just say, "Oh, fuck this. We're not going to try." I mean,
yeah.
Cole, I know being around you just a little bit, the competitor, and you would not want to be about that either. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I'm not a fan of teams tanking. No. I mean, I understand what you're trying to do, but I mean, at the same time, how can you go out and tell someone go lose or go do whatever you do, and if you do good, then great, and if you do bad, then you're helping the team. I mean, that's just my outlook on it.
Right. Trevor, you agree too?
Yeah, I mean, not looking good for them. They got a lot of guys on veteran deals that are still just kind of hanging around, and the main pieces that they have in place now, other than say Evans or Godwin, not that good. They're just not that talented, and it's. I mean, am I going to want Mike Evans as a fantasy wide receiver? Absolutely, because he's probably going to get about 50% of the targets from Baker Mayfield or whoever's throwing him the ball. But other than that, they might get probably between 4 and 6 wins this year, something like that, just because of the division that they're in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah. Okay. That division's a stink sandwich. They're all terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good.
Yeah.
The Saints, I think, have a decent shot to do something, depending on what Derek Carr shows up. Is it Pro Bowl Derek Carr, or is it the Derek Carr that we've seen flashes from over the last 5 years, where he can't hit the broadside of a barn, seems to throw the ball away like crazy? Just depends. If he shows up, they're going to have a very good chance to come out of that division and host a playoff game, a home playoff game. I really believe that. They have an unbelievable defense. They got 2 studs in the backfield, and they got decent weapons around Derek Carr that want to play, so I think they'll be all right. Them and the Panthers, probably the next best shot. Got Bryce Young there, have a pretty good offensive line. Miles Sanders in the backfield now. So what's that?
New head coach, Frank Reich.
Right. Who I think had a piss poor opportunity in Indianapolis. I don't think it was his fault. I think their team just stunk. They had a terrible offensive line that nobody expected to be terrible. And they had old Matt Ryan, who had stone feet that couldn't move. And then whoever else they threw in was absolutely disastrous too. And then a hurt defense. Your best defensive player missed a lot of the season, and Leonard and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting division. I'd say if I were to pick that division, Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Buccaneers. Falcons will probably be about the same team they were last year, right around 500, maybe a little less.
Okay. I agree. No, but I pitched this to Trevor. He thought it was a good idea, just so we can finish up with football here and move on to basketball. So if you were going to start a team, okay, so the options, Trevor, if I fuck this up, please correct me, okay? We're going to do 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, or 3?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then
really decided. So
and then running back, and then fuck it, we'll just do 2 linebackers and somebody in the secondary. If you were going to build a team, who would those guys be? Who wants to go first?
Is this an all-time team, Drew?
All-time team, yep. Just the main positions, I'd say.
Gotcha.
I got to write mine down so I know what the fuck I'm going to say.
That's tough. So quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 linebackers, and 1 defensive back?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Sorry to anybody who picks Peyton Manning, but you're just wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Peyton was probably the most gifted athlete to ever play most gifted quarterback. I wouldn't say gifted athlete. It's a gifted player to ever play quarterback, but Brady was gifted plus just a winner no matter what.
Mhm.
Wide receiver, Randy Moss. I think that's pretty obvious. I would probably pick Jerry Rice besides Randy Moss. That's pretty obvious as well. And if I had to pick a third receiver, I would probably pick Terrell Owens. He was so good. And he gets a bad rap. He had some interesting experiences, but he was so freaking talented. And his longevity was very, very good. So I'd probably take him. Middle linebackers, Lawrence Taylor, probably the best player maybe ever to play the game, especially on defense. I don't really think there's much debate there. Probably stick him beside Ray Lewis. As much as it pains me, he was pretty all right at that position. Either him or Lambert, but I don't know. I think Ray Lewis was more versatile, could play a little bit better in the passing game because the passing game evolved a little bit. But yeah, I'd pick Ray Lewis, and then it's a toss up between Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu. I think a lot of people's eyes, but I would probably pick Troy Polamalu for my secondary player. His instinct was second to none, so I have to roll with Troy. Plus, I just find Troy Polamalu is more of a classy human being than Ed Reed. Although Ed Reed seems to be an okay guy these days, seems to be a little bit better. But yeah, that's who I'd roll with.
Cole?
I mean, literally every name he said, I was basically thinking of. I'd go Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice. My third receiver, I can't think that fast. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't have T.O. But my safety, I would definitely, or my guy in the back, out back there, I would go with my guy Charles Woodson.
Ooh.
He is in my mind is the GOAT, man. I love that guy. I love watching him play. So I would definitely have him back there, and then I'd stick Ray Lewis up at linebacker, and then I'd also throw another old-time Raider, Bill Romanowski, back at linebacker with him.
Ooh, all right.
But my third wide receiver, I don't know. Maybe I'll think of that before the show's over. But right now, I got nobody.
Trevor, you want me to go or you want to go, buddy?
I'll go.
Okay.
Obviously Brady, QB. That's I don't think that's a debate anymore. Wide receivers, we were discussing earlier, Drew. I'd probably flip-flop Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. I'd go Jerry Rice 1, Randy Moss 2. I was thinking T.O. 3. But also I was thinking of the old Steelers, Stallworth, Swan, those guys. I don't know if they would be cracking my top 3, but Tim Brown was Tim Brown was more of a kick returner, but yeah, I can't really think of anybody other than T.O. Those are probably my top 3 there. Although I will say Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, whatever you want to call him, often gets overlooked. Him, and I don't put this guy in the all-time, but AJ Green in his prime, very unstoppable. On the back end, Troy, got to be Troy. The hair was so elegant. He's never not working anymore. He was easily my all-time favorite Steeler. He was just playing a different brand of football than anyone else was. And it was so exciting to watch. I wish, we could give him an anti-aging serum so he could come and play again. But, unfortunately that's not the case. Probably got to throw either Rod Woodson or Ed Reed back there with him. Both of those guys played for Baltimore. Obviously Woodson won a Super Bowl with Baltimore, which I'm still kind of griping about, but it is what it is. Linebackers, my bias is showing Lambert, and then Ray Lewis as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't think everybody's going to be shocked by this. Ben, I'm taking fucking Ben at quarterback. It's not an all Steeler lineup. I'm going to make that very clear, okay? Jerome Bettis is at my running back. Just a fucking goddamn monster truck. They called him the bus for the reason. My wide receivers, we got Jerry Rice, Megatron, and Randy Moss. I think those are fair. Megatron was just a fucking freak.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
I forgot
yeah.
about
Yeah.
him.
Mhm. I forgot about him too.
And then, no offense to Lambert, I have one of his cards. I love that son of a bitch. He was a mean motherfucker. But James Harrison and Kevin Green, I'm taking a linebacker. And then Troy Palmo and Champ Bailey in the backfield all day. All day. There's no fucking.
Champ Bailey, too.
He was a fucking
Likewise.
mean son of a. Oh, well, Mal Blunt, Nate. I was going to put Mal Blunt. I mean, they fucking changed the rules because of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Even those Raiders secondaries, man, both those teams in
Yeah.
the right were mean. Holy man, they were mean.
Atkinson, Tatum could take your head off at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Atkinson killed a guy one time.
I think he did.
Yeah. Atkinson,
Pretty sure.
he really put a punish on him. So
Mhm.
I can't believe I was the only one that threw Lawrence Taylor out there. Are you guys nuts? Oh my gosh, he's the best
Probably.
player ever.
I'm going to say Lawrence Taylor on cocaine. Absolute freak. I would take
I
him.
don't care what he's on. He's Lawrence Taylor on Lawrence Taylor, and he's the best football player that ever played the game.
No, he was a dog.
Besides maybe Brady, he's the only other one that even belongs in the discussion. I don't think it's even close.
No, I put him at third.
He was
easily.
crazy.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. But no, so moving on to NBA, Nate, Cole, we're going to do top 5 lineup in that too, because I want to see what's going on. Rodman's not going to be in my I have a sweater on, but I'm not going to put him in my top 5 because that really fucking pissed off a lot of people. So how do we think this series is going here with the Nuggets and Heat? The Nuggets, when I watched them last, felt like they were just stagnant. Like it just kind of shocked the shit out of me. Do you think they come back here, or the Heat going to just walk out with this?
Nah. No, I
Nope.
think the Nuggets got it. They're just.
Okay.
I mean, look at game 1. Joker drops a triple double with like 40 points. I mean, he's just too good. No one can stop him. Like literally, I think game 2. I didn't watch game 2, but I kept checking the score. I mean, he was the only one that was putting up the numbers for him. I mean, he's just that good of a big guy that can pass the ball and rebound and distribute to the team that just makes them, I think unbeatable. Clearly they got beat, but if they play like they did in game 1, I think they could run away with the series. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't care who wins because I like Jimmy Butler. I think he's a freaking grinder. And so is that team because they're all undrafted free agents, which in my mind is fucking awesome. They're not guys that are getting $900 million to go play. They're all undrafted free agents that are just grinding. So, in my mind, I think the Nuggets. I don't think it goes game 7. I would say like a 4-2 maybe, but I could be completely wrong. This could flip flop because they're in Miami. Miami could steal two in Miami and go up 3-1 before you blink. But yeah, I've been watching the Nuggets all playoffs, and if they play like they can, I really think they're not beatable.
Right. No, Nate, you know how passionate I get about the NBA playoffs. I get real fucking into it. I am not impressed with Jamal. Jesus fuck, come on, get it together. Jamal Murray. I'm not impressed with his play at all. I think every time they get in the playoffs, he fucking, I don't know what the hell happens to him. I mean, there's some games he's good, some games he's not. But I mean, Jokic needs that other guy. He can't fucking do it himself. You know what I mean?
You missed the Lakers series then because Jamal Murray gave us freaking business, and that sucked.
No, I mean, like when he gets besides that series, though, I have not ever been impressed with him. Like I just don't. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
When he's healthy, he is one of the best players in the league. He is tough.
Okay.
He's not the best on defense, but he can hang in there. He does okay. But, man, he's top 5 shooter in the league when he's healthy. There's no doubt about it. When he gets it going, he's damn near impossible to stop. He'll just pull up, and he'll come off screens, and he'll hit every shot. And, I think he's gotten better at, deciding, hey, I don't have to always shoot the 3. I can go in and I can hit the 20-footer, 15-footer, even if it's not the greatest shot. I'm that good of a player that, for me, it's still a good shot. Right. Coach Allegretto probably doesn't like me saying that. He didn't really like the 15-footers and stuff. But, no, it's Jamal Murray, 50-60% shooting them. And maybe TA would agree with that, with him shooting at that. But, no, I agree with Cole. I think the Nuggets are the better team, but I think this is the worst matchup they could have seen. I think they would have rather seen the Celtics.
Yeah.
The Heat are just so freaking – they're just so determined, so tough. Their whole team plays with that swagger, that attitude that you need. And if that team didn't play with that effort and that determination, they wouldn't even be in where they're at. You know, they took out the number 1 seed. No one expected that. I mean, heck, they lost the first the play-in game, and then they had to win the second play-in game, and they were down in the fourth quarter in that game against Chicago, who I didn't think was very good. And now here they find themselves in the finals. So you just can never count them out. They're going to grind it. They got to play, probably games in the 90s, low 100s. The Nuggets got to run and get it out, 110, 120, 130 points. That's going to favor them. So, yeah, no, I agree with you, though, Drew. If Jamal Murray doesn't hit shots, they're in trouble. Or if Michael Porter Jr. doesn't hit shots or pass the freaking ball to the open man, they're also in trouble. My goodness. The guy is one of the most talented players in the league, but he just fires away and fires away. And I would hope I'd make 40 to 45% of my three-pointers too, but I mean, we got these people standing wide open underneath the basket for a layup. Like, you got to give it up, man. I don't understand.
No.
He just shuts up threes like it's nobody's business.
That's his game. I get it.
This is 100% his game. I agree, but there's times where it's like, dude, stop doing 3 step backs to shoot a three-pointer and just dish it.
Right.
No, I would agree. Trevor, what do you think in this series?
I'm so glad Nate brought up Michael Porter from last game. He went 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, and he had no assists. So there you go. If that's any indication of how much he passes the ball and finds open teammates, no assists for him. But same thing with him. When he's hot, and he can light it up for, 15, 20, 25 points whenever he wants to when he's making shots. But when he's not making shots and he just keeps chucking them up, just hurting his team. And it takes away from what Murray's able to do, and honestly takes away from what Jokic is able to do, because the guy can only score so much. He scored 42, I believe, in game 1. He scored 41 in game 2. And you can't just put it all on one guy. Trust me, I'm a Sixers fan. We've tried to put it all on one guy for like 3 or 4 years now, and it hasn't worked. But no, I'm going to be honest here. I have the Nuggets in 7, and I'm not just saying that because I have money on it. I'm saying that, of course, I have money on it, right?
That's beautiful.
But yeah, I think the Heat are just really grinded out type of a team, and they're the one team that can throw the Nuggets off their game. They're the one team that, the Nuggets coach keeps talking about discipline issues. Miami's forcing a lot of that. They're just so sticky to people. It's unreal how well they defend and how just gritty they are, especially when you get into the third and fourth quarter when, like Denver's looking tired. They're still raring. They're still raring to go. So what? You had to play 2 play-in games and then beat the 1 and the 2 seed to get here. They're going to fight to the end. They don't care if they, drop dead on the floor. That's how determined they are. And so I say it goes to 7 with the Nuggets pulling it out.
Right. Okay.
Dizzy, just to interrupt you, Drew.
No, keep going. No, I love it.
Sixers had a great number 2 option in Tobias Harris that they picked over Jimmy Butler. So, that was a really good decision that they made there. So, they'd be in this position. I flat out think they would if they would have just picked Jimmy over Tobias Harris. And I tell you all the time, and I know I sound like a broken record to you because we chat so much. Man, I cannot believe they did that. I'm sorry, but at least they did not hire D'Antoni to make it worse this time. They hired a guy who actually knows what he's doing.
Holy fuck!
So hopefully, they'll be back, man. Been some weird. For you.
I wasn't gonna bring up the Jimmy Butler thing. I thought about it. I wasn't gonna do it, but I guess this is the episode where we bash my Sixers instead of Cole's Raiders. But no, just to kind of touch on that too, I think they hired a good guy, and it makes sense with the old connections with Morey that they hired Nick Nurse, and he wasn't my first choice. I wanted Sam Cassell to get promoted, and I think Cassell will have a job within 3 to 4 years. But I understand why, the Sixers wanted a championship-ready coach now. And Nate, you and I discussed at length. Anyone but D'Antoni would have been fine by me. Because D'Antoni's he's in his 70s. He's not changing now. He's playing ISO ball for the rest of his life, however long is left in it. I'm happy with who they hired. But yeah, Sixers will be back. I hope.
Yeah. Two things. Sam Cassell, I don't know what it is against Sam Cassell. Teams can't make him as their head coach. It's stupid. He's had so much experience. He needs a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Two, Mike D'Antoni is one of the best ever regular season head coaches, but the dribble drive and pick and roll is not enough to get it done. That can be your primary, but you can't shoot 27 3-pointers in a row and miss them all and just keep shooting them. Can you please go to the freaking basket? My God. Yeah. That is one of the most sickening professional I think I will ever have in my life. That and the Bills' 13 seconds of giving up. Those two are on par with each other. Those drive me bananas.
Okay.
So
you just answered my question, Nate. Where do you put that with the Bills losing in 13 seconds? You just said they were on par with each other. So that you already answered my question.
Bills are worse.
Those are easily your two best sports rants of all time.
Bills are worse, but the Rockets are right up there. The Bills are worse because they literally put 4 guys down on the line of scrimmage and rushed them. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't care if you put them on the line, but just drop them back. Like, do something. Why are you rushing? I literally ranted about that for 2 hours. I'm not going to rant now, but that was one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen in my life. Maybe the only other thing that might be up there too is the Penn State-Illinois game that went into 9 overtimes. Illinois was putting 9 guys on the line of scrimmage, and Penn State was putting 6, and then they put 2 guys 10 yards off the ball and then a linebacker. It's like, what do you think they're doing? It's pouring down rain. Get up there. Get your butt up there. Like, this team has lost recruits to Northwestern for years. You have to be pretty smart. Who's on Illinois? Get your butt up there. That was the stupidest thing I ever seen. That might be one. That might be the first one. And, of course, it's Jimmy Franks, who can't win in big games in his life. Just mid in terms of coaches. Can't win against a ranked opponent. Can't win on the road. So I'd take it Penn State, Illinois, Bills, Chiefs, Rockets. Was it Rockets, Warriors, right?
Yeah, in the conference finals, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be my 3. Absolutely pathetic.
I fucking enjoy so much when Nate gets going. I could sit here for hours. Nate, I want you to record yourself flipping out about shit.
I do, but I only said it to about 7 people that I trust with my life.
No, but is Mike D'Antoni the 7-second guy? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was doing that with Shaq on the Suns. What the fuck are you like? Shaq's already gassed halfway through the fucking. He's 5 minutes in the game. He's ready for a water break.
And he was
mid-30s. I think Stoudemire was the main guy, right? And then Shaq was the backup.
Right.
So, Shaq was just kind of, I don't know if you could call him comic relief at that point in his career, but that's kind of what it.
He was an all-star center though with the Suns.
Was he?
That's how good he was still.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he just didn't.
Celtics years. Celtics was that was.
Yeah, and Cavs. He was so freaking slow.
Right.
Yeah, but all right. So I'm gonna see if I piss Cole off with my all-time team. Who wants to take the cake? Your all-time starting 5 lineup. You can have somebody on your bench. Fuck, I forgot to put my bench guy. But who wants to go first? Go ahead.
Damn, dude, you gotta give me a heads up with these questions. I can't.
Cool. No, I told Trevor. Let's just throw this fucking in here and get him a little spazzy in the pants a little bit. Let's see what happens.
I mean, mine's pretty simple. I think about this shit all the time because I have no life.
Yeah.
But Magic Johnson's my point guard. Kobe Bryant's my 2. Michael Jordan's my 3. LeBron James is my 4. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is my 5. And I think I would probably pick Wilt Chamberlain off the bench.
Wow. We are very close, Nate. Just there's one guy You know how I feel about him. I didn't have him on my lineup, and it's going to piss Eric off, but I don't really give a shit. Trevor, Cole, who do you guys got here?
Want me to go, Cole?
Yeah, go ahead. I need a minute.
All right. What are we considering MJ? Is he a 2?
You can put him at a 3.
Put him at a 3 as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably put MJ at 2.
All right.
I gotta go LeBron somewhere. Trying to think. I probably got to put LeBron James at 3. I'm gonna throw Kareem in at 4, and then Chamberlain in at my 5. And for my point guard, I'm gonna go a little old school on you guys here. Bob Cousy.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, little old school for you there. I was gonna put him at 6, but he's kind of the guy that revolutionized the game a little bit. If you go back and watch those old black and white tapes, he was doing stuff that guys are doing now in terms of passing the ball, finding open teammates, and just making plays. It was just ridiculous. Then my 6th man, that's a good question. I'm gonna throw Dirk in the mix. In the mix.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I left Kobe out, Nate. I apologize. But that was more to make it interesting than anything. If it's any consolation, Kobe's my 7.
Cousy, let me tell you right now, and this is not real life, Cole. I don't want to interrupt your take here. But Bob Cousy on my team on 2K years ago when I was playing competitive and playing, in world championships. That guy won me so many fucking games. I almost got teary-eyed. Trevor, if we were in the same room, I would have gave you a kiss on the cheek. That's how much I love Bob Cousy. That guy.
I hated to say the guy's name because he was a Celtic and all, but
he was
I can't deny greatness. And Bill Russell, you got to throw him in there somewhere. He'd probably be in the top 10 easily, but we were limited to 6, so there was my 6.
Cole. You want me to go or?
No, I'm good. I go Wilt and Kareem as my my 2 big guys, and then my 2 and 3. I mean, you could flip flop Kobe and MJ. That's who I'm going with. They are the definition of basketball when I think of it. Point guard, I'm going Mr. White Chocolate, Jason Williams. Guy was a baller.
I love it.
Guy was a baller.
Oh my God.
And then I'd probably bring Dirk off the bench just because, he could kind of fit into a 3, but mostly a 4 or 5, but he would come off my bench.
White Chocolate. I love it. I still watch his highlights. The one where he does the behind the back off the elbow.
Yeah.
It's still goosebumps. Nasty, filthy.
Cole, I don't want to come after you for your why no D Rose.
I was thinking that's my boy, but I don't know. I mean, he only had 1 or 2 years in his prime there. You know what I mean? Okay. I mean, then he got injury prone. Trust me, I was thinking him, and then I guess someone else that I would, maybe between Dirk and then the other guy I'd bring off my bench is Ray Allen because he's just an absolute sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Between those 2 off my bench, but the other 5, the first 5 would stay pretty put.
So
here, DB.
This is very anticipated here. Rodman is 7. I'm still going to have him on my list. Okay. All right. So we got Magic. We got Kobe at 2. We got Michael at 3. Hakeem at 4. Shaquille O'Neal at 5. Fuck LeBron. That's just how it is. Pippen at 6, and then Rodman 7. That's how we're doing it.
So nobody picked Stephen Curry, huh?
I'm going to throw something out here, and I know people. We got a decent amount of people here in the comments, and I can't wait to see you guys get pissed off, and it's just going to be a joyous time. He ruined basketball. I'm just going to throw it out there. He ruined the fucking sport of basketball. Cole, would you agree or no?
I mean,
you go down. That's it. I got a question. I got to ask you a question. When you were playing at Benzinger tonight, how many of those fucking kids were trying to shoot Curry fucking range 3s? There's none.
The game I played, there was 0, but yeah, you see videos all over the internet of all these little kids pulling up. I mean, I get that.
There's no.
Yeah.
fucking fundamentals. I mean, and me and Nate talked about it. I'm not saying Curry is a little bitch at all, but I'm just saying this generation of basketball, I like 90s more and early 2000s way more than the teens and the 20s here. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe because I'm 26 and I'm an old bastard now and grumpy as fuck, but that's just. Would you agree? Would you rather watch early 2000s than today?
I definitely will. I think the NBA is soft as freaking butter right now.
Yeah.
They just all they do is run down the lane, complain, try to get complain, and then they get a technical, or they try fighting each other every game. I mean, what are you doing?
I mean, when James Harden was going, I got to get this right. I think he was 2 for 15 when he was playing on the Rockets. 2 for 15 from 3. I said, holy fuck, man. And then he put another one up, and then he ended up being 2 for 60. I'm like, can we just quit shooting the fucking basketball from 3? Like, what are we doing? Like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. Nate, am I wrong on that? I just.
No, for some people, he definitely ruined the sport because what he does is so unique and so unprecedented that people think that it just comes so easy. But that dude's been in the gym since he was like in diapers. Dad was a professional. He shot probably an incomprehensible amount of shots, whether it was when he was super young, in the league, college, high school, AAU, whatever. That dude shot so many freaking shots, and he has just such a unique talent of range from anywhere, acrobatic threes off the screen, pull up and, transition, everything. He can catch, he can shoot off the catch, he can do everything. But at the same time, I think that Warriors team, as much as I can't stand their success, I think they revolutionized the game. I understand the numbers behind it. 3 is greater than 2. These guys are so talented that they got to shoot those shots. Now, you don't got to shoot 27 in a row and miss them all, but if you can make, 35 to 50% of your threes, I mean, goodness gracious, you're going to win every sticky game you play pretty much. Right. So, I understand the sense that he ruined the game, but he also revolutionized the game. Him and Curry, or him and Thompson, I'm sorry. Yeah, those guys are ridiculous. But like people like Trae Young and Jamal Murray and Devin Booker wouldn't be, I don't think, as good as they are without watching them. They'd still be very good, but I think that those two kind of paved the way for everybody else. And, a few other stragglers like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen and, a few of those other guys too. But, yeah, I don't think they ruined the game. I think they just changed the way that the game's being played. So that's my thought. And I think when it's all said and done, we're going to say that Stephen Curry, Magic Johnson, John Stockton debate is pretty close. I think all of them, you can't go wrong with any of them. I wouldn't pick Bob Cousy, Dinzy, I'll be honest. I don't think the dude could defend anybody, and same with Jason Williams. Although they are really, really damn good at what they did, but I don't think they can guard a soul. And they were the product of having, people like Chris Webber behind them and Bill Russell behind them and a bunch of other guards that could defend. So I'll just say that their offensive talent, they're up there with the best ever, but they were defensive liabilities for sure. And that's why I wouldn't pick those guys. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Curry and the 3-point shooting and stuff like that too.
Yeah. But anything else on NBA, fellas?
The only thing that Curry ruined for me was the fact that some kids now, when they're shooting a piece of paper into a trash bin or whatever, they'll say Curry instead of Kobe.
Yeah,
that drives me nuts.
That's wrong.
Makes me want to kick them, but I can't because I'm 25 and I would get arrested. So
I take it.
Yeah, no. If it were my kid, I would sit him down and have a serious talk with him, and then we would watch, hours on hours of Kobe Bryant highlights and tell him, hey, now what do you say when you throw the paper into the bin? Kobe. Yeah.
I duct tape him to chair and make him watch it and then put a little plastic, not duct tape. I'm talking envelope tape. Their eyelids so they couldn't close their eyes and they have to watch Kobe. If I ever hear it, I'll smack the shit. I'll be fucking. I gotta watch how I say stuff, but I'd be really fucking pissed off if I hear my kid say Curry when he's shooting a fucking thing. But anyways, MLB, more shit show with the Athletics, Trevor, or what else do we got here? Is there more drama? Because people love this segment. I'm going to be honest. There's some people that skip past everything else and they wait for our MLB talk. So I just got to throw that out.
Got you. Yeah, I mean. Nothing else really in the works. I think it, the Nevada government shut down. Well, they didn't shoot it down. They delayed the voting on a bill that would provide a lot of the funding for the new stadium. Okay. Not that it would, delay the progress of the A's moving there by 2027. That's not an issue, but it's kind of same old for now. They beat our Buccos tonight. So there's some news. They're now like 13-49 or something like that because they beat the Pirates, who had won 6 straight. But, of course, that ends with the Athletics. That's on par with the Pirates. But other than that, nothing new with the A's, man.
Okay. I got some news I'd like to talk about. Jacob DeGrom, one of me and Trevor's buddies, TJ Stevens, he's a very big sports fan. He's a lifelong Mets fan. And I told him at the time, I said, you're going to be glad that he's gone. And then they signed Verlander and Scherzer, the 2 grandpas of pitching staffs in the entire league, for $1 zillion. And I was like, okay, that's not what I had in mind, but okay. And now all 3 of those guys have been mid or terrible at best. So much money wrapped up into this guy. He's going to have TJ surgery, probably going to miss. He's missing the rest of this year. They'll probably shut him down for next year, I would assume. Stinks for the Rangers. They addressed their need for pitchers. They got Eovaldi and they got DeGrom, and now just Eovaldi, who I think they can roll with, but they have a nice team, so they're probably gonna have to be active at the deadline to try to get some other people for the next 2 years or so. And another one, this one makes you really sad. Steven Strasburg. I did see that. Had 8 appearances since 2020. They won the World Series with Nationals in 19. He was the World Series MVP, I'm pretty sure. And he's had 8 starts since. I think he's only pitched about 31 innings and nerve damage in his arm. He's only, I think, 34 years old, and I think his career is over. It's terrible. I always admired him. I think he was one of those guys that came out of college about 10, 12, 13 years ago. That was like one of those first real flamethrowers that you've seen from a starter in a long time. And it stinks that he's going to be in his mid-30s when I honestly think he could have pitched till 40 if he would have stayed healthy. He's that good. So it's a shame. And the Nationals, that just stinks because they finally got what they wanted out of him. That was contract year. He pitched phenomenally, the best he ever pitched in his career. And then they sign him and he does this. And it's going to put a huge financial burden on their team to have him. And now he's not even pitching for the foreseeable future. So I wanted to throw out that one as well. And another guy not in Major League Baseball that may never play competitive sport again is Lonzo Ball. There's rumors out there his career is over. The procedure he needs is a bone transplant. Now, it's not like moving one bone to the other bone or anything like that. Nothing crazy. It's moving, I believe, one part of your kneecap to the other part of your kneecap to rejuvenize that bone that needs the structure and support. Nobody's ever in the history of the NBA come back and played from that injury. So that's another guy, not even 30 years old yet, someone that I think had a huge following and is one of the most, popular players in the league, one of the most known players to come out of the draft in the last decade or 2 decades. This dude might be over and he's not even 30 years old. It's just sad to see all that.
I think that I know it's going back to basketball. That Lonzo Ball one is interesting because I read an article and it said that they pushed that triple whatever their brand was that his dad was pushing or whatever.
Big baller brand, hell yeah.
Yeah, Triple B.
Big baller brand. Those shoes are part of the reason that caused his aggravating knee injury because the shoe was so poorly made because they tried to get it out so quick.
Yep.
Because he did wear it to start out. I think that contributed to part of the reason of aggravating that knee injury even more, is from what the article that I read said.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. I think there's no doubt in my mind that there was probably something to do with it from that. I just think that, first of all, he's terrible luck. This thing isn't common. Mm-hmm. The other thing is these guys play so many games growing up from the time they're 6 years old all the way into the NBA. These guys' bodies are shutting down faster, I don't know what it is. Basketball never was that way. Baseball, I felt like they used to play more and people could withstand more. I don't know how you feel about that, Cole. It was weird to kind of see that. Now there's probably more science about it now and stuff, but I think that I don't know. I just think that maybe he had too much wear and tear and just unluckiness too. Nobody really gets this injury. It's just bizarre. So
Yeah.
him is wearing down here.
I'm going to be honest. There was a kid, Nate, in PA. I forget what school he's from. He had the same shit going on, but he was running. His shit was done. Yeah,
Yep.
I think he got a scholarship to D1 school, and I think right after he graduated, it's actually a very fucking. I mean, Lonzo Ball's is a very sad story. His dad's a jackass. I'm just going to throw that out there. LeVar, I fucking hate him. But no, I don't see him coming back. I mean, running in basketball, it's very similar. Not in a way, you know what I mean? It's pounding, you using your joints and shit, your knees, all your muscles. I think he's fucked. But I'll tell you right now, and I know my buddy's watching me right now. I said he was going to be the future of the Lakers. I did when we drafted him. I followed that heat, that was coming with him when he came in the league. And I don't know. It's just sad. Anytime an athlete at Strasburg too, I saw that. I mean, that's just fucking sad.
Terrible.
I used to fuck people up in the show with him too. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Damn it. What do you think, Trevor? You think he comes back or no?
No. Unfortunately, no. It's kind of sad, and it's kind of ironic that, like you said about LeVar, his brand was his own son's undoing. In a way, it was.
Right.
It's unfortunate. The same kind of thing is happening to LaMelo right now too. His knees they're going to go to shit too.
Yep.
And he might be out of the league before he's 30. You know. He already has a bit of an injury history with it, so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and like you said, Nate, I don't know what it is about these guys that go through AAU youth league, and basically from the time that you're able to walk, you're dribbling a basketball, your body just shuts down sooner. I don't know. Maybe part of that's the speed of the game. Maybe part of that's just the absolute toll that it's taken. I don't know, but it's just kind of sad all around. Unfortunately,
I gotta throw this out here, and Cole, I don't know if you did for basketball, and you can tell me to kick rocks and fuck off. You don't want to answer the question. So I don't know if you traveled for baseball or not, or basketball, but I was just wondering. I really think these AAU bullshit. I'm not saying they're bullshit just because I was never invited. I felt like I should have, Cole, but I was never invited to play. Do you think that plays a factor, though? Like these traveling teams, like baseball-wise, even basketball, maybe I'm trying to think of other sports, but just the fucking constant, there's no break. It seems like there's no off-season when you do that shit.
Yeah. I mean, the older you get, I guess, I mean, you need to start to understand your own body, I mean, what limits you can push yourself to. That's
right.
That's one thing that I think like kids need to learn, like in high school, once they, get older. I'm not saying when they're freshmen or stuff like that, but towards your senior year, when, maybe you're trying to do something, you gotta, your limits, right? It's always good to take a break from whatever you're playing, because it's just good for physically, for your body, and mentally for yourself too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's good to get out and play those things, but I think people do it too much, overdo it. A lot going on. That's just my personal opinion. I just think sometimes it gets, there's no break. It's just constant. Oh, we got to do this. No, we got to do this. We got to do this. You got to keep going. I mean, I know it's good to get extra work in and games and stuff like that, but at the same time, it also could hurt you.
Yeah. No, because I was just going to say, I mean, running wise, I mean, fuck, we take off. I mean, we do, we had cross country, then winter, we'd have about 3 weeks, and then we get back into training.
Yeah.
Spring, we had track, and then we take 3 weeks off, and then we train all summer. But it just doesn't seem like, if you're doing this traveling sports shit, man, you're fucking, you're dedicated to that. And I would say as a position player, you're kind of fucked. If you're really good, if you're a pitcher, you're not really, they got a rotation, but position wise, I mean, holy fuck. I mean,
let me put this in perspective, I guess, from my standpoint is, so when I went to Bonaventure, I was fortunate enough to do good, start as a freshman, right? So I played I never missed one Bonnie's game in 3 years, right? So
I never knew that.
Yeah, wow. I never missed one.
Solid.
And I even broke my finger in my sophomore year, but I just kept playing. But so you do a whole season that, let's just say there's almost 50 games, right? And then I would come, school's out, college is out for the summer. I'd come home for a week and a half, take a break, and then I was back to Olean because I was playing summer ball with the Oilers. And I played every single game there and maybe sat 1 or 2 in 2 years because we were clinched a playoff. So, like, no one was, none of the starters that played all the time were playing. So, like, it was always good for me to get that week and a half break before I went to summer ball because that's more wear and tear on the body. But then when summer ball was over, you had like almost 2 to 3 weeks before college started back up again. So there was always a break that I was taking in between, which helped me regroup myself, which I think is important for all athletes, no matter what sport you're doing. But like I said before, I think some parents really push it on their kids growing up to, got to keep going, when in reality it's good to, just take a little tick back and, enjoy something other than the sport. Let me put it that way. Enjoy life besides the sport. Because, I will tell that to my kids growing up or whoever I coach, it's okay to, take a step back and enjoy life because my life was constant baseball, and I loved it. But now that I'm done, like it's almost like, there's just so much little stuff that I missed out on that I don't miss now, which, grateful for the opportunity, but also grateful for what I have after.
Yeah, no, Cole, I have to say, I got to say this though. And I know people didn't like that I brought up the alcohol beer thing, but you seriously took this, like you really did take care of yourself. Like you weren't like, I'm going to say this to all the athletes out there, myself included. I did not take care of my body. I'm going to be honest. And me and, coach at the time, we talked about it. We wanted to party, you know what I mean? We're here at college and I haven't really talked about that, but like you really, after like meeting with you, I was like, okay, maybe I should take this shit a little serious. No, like I'm serious because like I try to give you a beer, you say no, and then you make it onto the majors. I'm not saying I'm going to Olympics, you know what I mean? or pro ball, but I don't know. I just have a lot of credit. And you did golf in the fall? You didn't do any fall sport
in high school?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do anything. I played basketball in the fall. Like we would have like a Sunday league in Phillipsburg where you'd go play a couple games. That was all we did.
Oh, I thought you played golf. I apologize.
That Jim Cole was smarter than crap.
I went and played golf. I wasn't doing any good, but yeah, I agree. That gym was that YMCA is hotter than shit, and they always had that big ass fan down there.
Two fans in there, man.
Wasn't doing anything.
Yep.
They opened the doors and put this big ass fan like it's gonna do something. Ain't doing anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'd both go down there. Our teams would go down there and beat the pants off of everybody except for maybe West Branch and occasionally like Bald Eagle was okay sometimes too, or one of those state college travel teams would play in that league and stuff.
Yeah.
It was almost like a waste of an hour and 15-minute trip down there a lot of times.
It's always on Sunday, so like after the game, everyone's huddled in the lobby watching whatever football games on TV.
Not that I had much impact on the outcomes.
Always the Steelers because it's in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Not that I had much.
Cool. I think we're going to arrange all of us maybe possibly getting together for that game because you're getting a little spicy over there.
You don't want to watch a game with me. I'm not bad, but like I'm bad.
No, we could talk about parlays. I'm not going to be a dick to you. We could do a shot, not a beer. See, I didn't offer you a beer. I offered you a shot. So it might be a different ball game.
Like I said,
hey, Drew.
I said, I'd rather watch if I had to watch a game. Well, I guess I could say this year the Raiders play the Steelers and the Bills.
Yeah.
If I had to watch a game with the opposing fan, I would pick the Steelers just because I can't do it.
I'm not going to talk shit to you.
I'm not talking about it. I just can't do Buffalo anymore. And I know you talk shit, but
I wouldn't talk shit to you. Fuck no.
I told my wife, when you call me to check in and make sure everything is good, as soon as I hear your voice, I just start laughing. You just fucking make me laugh.
If you don't mind what I say, do you mind what I said to you on the phone? Can I say that?
No, I don't care.
Okay. So I call Cole. I'm like, hey, is everything good for tonight? Everything's good. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get things riled up over there at the Peterson household. You know what I mean? Like if you can't Jesus Christ. But Trevor, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we should do a live show during that. Do like a little live react thing. No,
hell no.
Okay.
No, I don't want people to see my reactions during that. No way.
All right.
No way.
I think that would just boost your followers through the roof because there'd be so many swear words going on throughout that video.
Well, Drew, you're not like part of a network or anything where you're regulated, right? It's just,
Well, I already told you the FCC, they just really care about copyright.
Okay. Well, swear words are fine then.
Let me tell you, I've said some awful shit way before we went on to Josh Mitchell days and Eric. There was some questionable comments that I've thrown out there. And if people want to have a little, maybe, holy fuck, this kid has some issues, you can go back yourself. I'm not going to repeat those because after I said them and I watched back the episodes, because last week I just said, fuck it, I'm going to watch all the episodes I've ever done. I'm actually disturbed by myself that came out of my mouth. So,
That's awesome.
But no, anything else, fellas, that we want to touch on? Nate, questions for Cole?
I wanted to chat about Victor Wembenyama.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I feel like, I always have some interesting takes. I don't care. I'll always own it. I've owned so many things that I said would be right and they were so wrong. Trevor can attest to it. And, I'll never stop throwing out these hot takes and stuff. Victor Wembanyama is truly one of the most unique talents that I've ever seen. I think anybody's ever seen, there's no denying about that. I just think this guy, the way he's built, is not going to last. And I know people can give me crap, go ahead, but I think I'd pick Scoot Henderson number one if I had the pick because he fits what the NBA is right now. Although no one's going to listen to what I have to say. But I think I'd pick Henderson because Wembanyama is 7'5", weighs $150, and I just think that he's going to have this feet, ankle, knee problem like Porzingis and Holmgren and all these gangly string beans that have come before him. But I also know that when he's out there, I almost would put money on it. The dude's going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
There's nobody close to him, but I don't know. I just think Henderson's going to, have a longer career, probably will have a better career. I don't know. I really feel that way, and I've been thinking that for a little bit, but you can't really pass on Wembanyama, can you? I don't think so. And I don't think Brandon Miller's the number one pick, although he's pretty dang good too. But
I think Scoot Henderson, your boy there, I don't even think he's going two. I saw something today. The Hornets are interested deeply in Brandon Miller at number two. I just
seen that stuff too. That stuff too.
If that stays true,
yeah. I don't think there's any debate that Wembanyama's going one. I worry about his build. He's unbelievably gifted, and I think he's going to be damn good. But I just think his availability and durability, who knows? Like, he hasn't had any injury history that I know of, but those guys are just so interestingly built. And anytime you label anybody as a unicorn, it's a red flag, Yeah. So they call him a unicorn. We've never seen this guy as a unicorn. Well, okay. But what's going to happen because of being a unicorn? We said that about Porzingis, that he's tweaking hammies and injuries all the time now too. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just a hot take that I've been thinking of over the last few months. I really like Henderson's game. He's so explosive, can do everything on the floor. And it's a guards league. It is. So that's kind of why I'd pick him personally.
I would say
go ahead, DB. All you. This is your show, baby.
No. You're a fucking legend. Just real quick, I just want to throw this out here, Cole. He needs to get up to at least 250 pounds by season. I don't know what the fuck you got to feed him, submarines or whatever the hell, but you need to nest quick, get him carnation breakfast, pump that motherfucker up.
The all pizza minute bowl diet, whatever you got to do.
Seriously, he's going to get thrown around. I think we're going to have a transition, and I don't want to take more away from Cole talking, but I just want to say,
good.
Giannis, we saw Giannis, skinny little twig. Then he gets the weight on. I still think Giannis needs more weight, but that's okay. But yeah, if he comes in like Giannis and doesn't put any weight on and stays like a KD, he's going to get his ass thrown around. I mean, he's going to get fucked up in the paint. I'm just being honest. Yeah. Get him up to Shaq's. Get 350. Get him up to 350. He'd fucking be a bowling ball. But anyways, go ahead, Cole.
I think the Spurs will get him, into the weight room, get him training, and then get him on a. I wouldn't even say a diet. Just eat everything in your path.
Yep.
Get some build up. I think he'll put some weight on. I'm not sure how much right away, but I was just gonna say I don't think he could have fallen into a better organization.
Right.
You're going right to the Spurs, and you're going to Greg Popovich, who is a very, very good coach and very, very, very good at developing players. Now, don't get me wrong; he's already a freak. He's so good. But under Greg Popovich, I think he'll be so much better and just add on to his game just because of who he's going to have as a coach.
And I think play management too. Like he was. I might be wrong on this, Nate, but I believe wasn't he the one that started the resting the players? So like he's very adamant about, hey, he's not fucking playing. He needs rest. Yep. So I think if he went to another organization, I would definitely agree with you. But seriously though, he's one rolled ankle away from it being a total fucking catastrophe, and their shit pops up in his leg. So he gets balled Spurs. We got all this fucking like. We'll wait and see. We'll see what happens.
You guys think there's any chance at all that the Oklahoma City Thunder trade 8 first-round picks to the San Antonio Spurs for him? They have 17 first-round picks. You think there's any chance at all?
Yes.
Holy fuck, that would be something. Maybe we got to do a draft night for NBA.
They just have so much capital. It's unreal. That's a lot of picks. But they have a lot of picks.
Yep.
You said they have 17 first-round draft selection? So they're trading about half of their first-round picks over the next however many years for, what are they saying, the best guy to come around since probably LeBron.
Yeah. That's my. I don't mean to cut you off. That's my only thing. Like if they get that trade offered to them, clearly I understand all the first-round picks you're about to get. But this is like a, I guess you could say, a once in a generation type player of his height of 7'5" and his ability. Like, would you pass up on that for more picks in the future, or would you just take this guy and just hammer it out and hope he's the man for the rest of your organization? It's tough. I mean, I could see it from both perspectives what you could do, but. Man, I don't know. That's why we're all sitting here talking about it and not making the moves, right?
I got to say, if they do that, I would compare that to the fucking Trailblazers taking Sam Bowie over fucking Michael Jordan. That's how idiotic I think it would be, Nate. I know that's not even close. There's way more fucking capital going on there with the 8 draft picks, but for fuck's sake, I think how that all turned out, I think the Trailblazers are like, we are fucking idiots. We should have took Michael.
Well, yeah, of course they're going to say that. But the fact of the matter is Sam Bowie was just as good, if not better, of a college player than Michael Jordan was. And Sam Bowie still played 11 years in the league.
Right.
Still pretty damn good. Michael Jordan's the best player or second best player to ever play the game. Like whoever was picked before him is going to be looked like that. Same thing with Greg Oden. It's just the –
oh, my God.
No. Greg Oden should have been picked first. If you look at his stats, the games that he played per 36-minute stats, he was incredible. And if you looked at with him, Brandon Roy together, they played like 50-some games together. They were unbelievable. They just never played together. They both happened to have career-ending injuries. Just flukes, Yeah. I don't think it was an awful pick to pick him, He could have picked anybody else in the history of the league. Like they could have picked Larry Bird at that pick and not Michael Jordan. And they'd be like, oh my God, they're idiots. Like it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Bowie played 11 years. Like he's pretty dang good. And he had what at the time was almost a career-ending knee injury at 7 foot tall. So I mean, go ahead and say I was a horrible pick and the 0-1 horrible pick. Yeah, I mean, this is an Anthony Bennett. I mean, like, come on.
Kwame Brown?
Kwame Brown played 12 years.
Oh, Dave, but he
he must not have been that bad. You don't stay in the NBA and get a cup of coffee for 12 years. They don't just keep you around.
I think so. He didn't fucking do some serious things to himself because I think he has PTSD from Michael and Kobe. Holy shit. You ever hear those conversations?
That's tough. That's tough. You know, I was kind of lose situations, but I'll tell you what, the dude, like, if you heard about where Kwame Brown's come from, the fact of the matter for him to play 12 years in the NBA,
God bless.
It's an anomaly. You know, sure, you can consider him a bust. Yeah, because he was a number 1 pick and he didn't average 20 and 10 and stuff.
Right.
But he's still, you don't just get to stay in the NBA for 12. You don't just stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, you can call him a bust if you want, but Anthony Bennett is more of that actual term. Like that's who I think of for sure. And yeah, people think Jamarcus Russell too. And I know, Cole, you obviously say it. I don't think the Raiders did Jamarcus any favors. I really don't. And then he certainly didn't do himself either. He got out of shape and, you know, he kind of got his money and he was raised in a similar situation as a Kwame Brown. And he doesn't consider himself a bust. So as long as he can live with it, what do I care? You know, it's unfortunate it didn't work out. I think he had all the talent in the world, but
right.
Yeah.
The best part about the Jamarcus Russell thing real quick was the Raiders gave him a tape to go watch film and they didn't put anything on it.
Yep.
And he went and watched it, or he didn't watch it. And when he came to practice the next day, they asked him what he saw, and he started naming out all these coverages.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, they gotcha. Like, you didn't watch it because we didn't put anything on it, and he just started making up bullshit. I thought that was so funny.
That's horrible.
Dude, what are you doing?
So like that's I understand why they did it because they were worried about it, but it's also stupid that they did that and stuff. Like you got to trust your guys. It's ridiculous. If you couldn't trust them, you shouldn't even keep them at that point. The other thing that he got crap for was like he talked about on the Pivot podcast. He literally said, you know, all the rookies had to do their rookie things for the team and stuff, and he like gave everybody like $1,000 and like was making it rain in the locker room. And I think it's personally stupid, but like they were saying like he was being irresponsible with his money and this and that, and they blamed him for that. And it's like this, no matter what the dude did, he was under a microscope. Like it was craziness. And this was before social media was playing. Could you imagine if this would have been going on when they had social media, you know, other than like Facebook and freaking MySpace and ICQ and stuff? Like, come on, man. Like this dude would have been out of the league probably in about 3 days.
Yeah.
The guy was ridiculous.
People can put on a show when they, you know, have interviews and stuff. You know, tell you what you want to hear. You know, that could go both ways. But you know, he might have been a guy that you know everyone liked what he had about him, and then he got that paycheck and did a 360 the other way, and that's probably why they lost trust in him. But I'm done talking about him. He's worthless.
Yeah, well, he was slamming fucking 2 Big Macs at McDonald's when they gave him that tape.
He was slamming that purple drink too, or whatever.
Yeah, fucking drinking lean, fucking tripping balls. That's fucking nice. Yeah, but that's the Raiders' way, Cole. Let's not get out of hand here. We don't need to get into what's going on.
Yeah, we're just gonna stop talking about the Raiders.
Crenshaw, baby. Anyways, all right. Anything else though? We're getting to the late hours for you guys, not for me. I'll be up till 2:00. But anyways, what are we? What else do we got here? Anything else?
Go ahead.
That guy. That story about that guy. I feel like you told me all the stuff you wanted to talk about. I completely just fucking forgot everything about what the fuck you wanted to talk about. I'm like, Trevor.
The Cleveland Guardians thing.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess it's kind of become a theme where I give out at least one feel-good story. And I'll give one out here. The Guardians hosted an ALS awareness night, and I feel like that's kind of a disease that doesn't get as much recognition as maybe it should. It's not as common as cancer or anything like that, but it's still still a very debilitating disease. Anybody that gets it, you only got 2 to 5 years left is, what is kind of the consensus was that. And then actually 90% of family cases occur without a family history. That's according to webco.alsa.org. So it doesn't even need to be hereditary. It can just kind of, if you got bad nerves, it can stricken you. And of course, most famously, this is called Lou Gehrig's disease. But anyway, the Guardians, they hosted an ALS awareness night the other night. Dave Hollister, one of the co-chairs of the 2023 Cleveland Walk to Defeat ALS, threw out the first pitch. And he, and I quote, said, to celebrate the Guardians, or hang on, sorry. Or no, he didn't quote that. That's the article. My bad. Yeah. Oh no. Here's what he did. He compared himself to Travis Kelce's first pitch from earlier in the season. He actually threw a pretty good strike right down the middle, whereas Kelce just kind of spiked the ball into the ground, a la Gronk, but with a baseball. Yeah, just wanted to shed a little light on that. Of course, Lou Gehrig had it. Stephen Hawking had it, and this one kind of struck me a little bit too. Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, a cartoon from our childhoods. Had that as well. So very, very debilitating disease. Only occurs in about 2 of every 100,000 people, but still it's something that finally gets a little bit of recognition. And I know that there was the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge a couple of years back, but ALS really hasn't been in the spotlight that much since then, with COVID and then everything else that's kind of been going on with the norm cycle of, disease awareness and all that good stuff. But yeah, there's your feel good story of the day. I know I kind of jumbled through that, but
no, I agree with you because, that is, I just remember from some college course we touched on that. And that was just like, it just takes over your whole entire body, mind, your nerves. I mean, movements, everything just gets taken over. I think we should, as 4 of us here, start the Ice Bucket Challenge again. Cole, I mean, you could put your Tigers jersey on. That'd be fucking cool. Get it out there. But no, I'm serious. When we were talking and he brought it up, I was like, yeah, and then I was like, I remember ALS. There's something with that years in that. Okay, that was Ice Bucket. Yeah, I jumped in the Clarion River that froze my ass off. Yeah, it was terrible. But no, it was for a good cause though. But I couldn't feel my feet for days. But because I jammed my foot off the rocks. Shit. Check the water before you jump in. Okay, that's the other positive advice I'm gonna give you. Cole, anything else for the folks out there?
No, I'm good.
I can't believe you came back for a second episode. I'm just fucking shocked by that. I mean, it's an honor.
Hey, I got some time. I'm just waiting for baby number 2 to pop out. So once that happens, I won't.
Whoa! What the fuck?
I didn't know that. That's
no,
awesome.
That's breaking news. Breaking news. No,
I didn't know.
Dude,
Congrats.
I'm about to have another girl here in like 2
awesome.
weeks.
Oh, geez. Wow. That's really soon. I did not know that.
I thought you knew that, DB.
All right. Well, that's
okay. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're not like me throwing all your shit on. You keep stuff. You put stuff out there, but you don't. You're kind of closeted a little. I didn't know. That's fucking awesome. You're girl dad. Holy
I am
shit.
girl dad. Yeah. I'm just getting outnumbered by the moment.
Oh, you got a dog though?
So 2
dog a girl?
I do got a dog. Dog's a guy. Got my pal.
Oh, hold on, Trevor. 2 girls?
Yeah, I was just asking 2 girls, Cole. 2 girls then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks. Yeah. I need it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think
my hair's turning gray already. My hair's turning gray already.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in Berk's gonna fuck with Cole Peterson's daughters. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I heard that guy has a nasty swing with a baseball bat. So. Nate, anything else for the people out there?
Oklahoma softball, 50+ wins in a row, going for a national championship repeat. Play Florida State in the finals. Craziness. I know that the Women's College World Series has been getting a lot more notice, and they continue to get more notice, but I felt compelled to say that. The men's field is always very competitive. There's always some upsets. Vanderbilt's one of those early exits that nobody expected. Quite frankly, kind of ticked me off in terms of the money and stuff like that. But Oklahoma softball dynasty right now, and we'll see what happens with the men's game. A lot of good teams left, a lot of great players. Personally, I picked Florida. I'm just going to be honest. I know they were probably a regular pick, but that's who I picked. And Wake Forest, LSU, and I think I picked I can't remember who else I picked around there, but those were some of my top teams I picked. So just felt compelled to say about Oklahoma softball. Nice little dynasty that they have here. They've lost one game all year. So
dude, they're 59-1. That's absurd at the college level.
Yep.
Good
Pretty
God almighty.
And I'm going to pull my mic up for this. So I just want to make this clear to everybody. If you go on FanDuel right now, I believe if the pluses are still the same, you could get the Steelers at 4,500. Okay, plus 4,500 to win the Super Bowl. I'd put it in now. They're mid-pack. Kenny Pickett looked fucking good. I watched the practice videos, Nate. I'm very passionate about that, and I saw him fucking shake his hair, put the helmet on. I said, guns in the holsters. He's ready to kick some ass.
Kenny Pickett's birthday today, right?
Wait, what'd you say?
Kenny Pickett's birthday today, right?
Goddamn, 25 years old. He looks good. Yep. Fiance took him out.
He's getting married in a couple weeks too.
Yep. What a guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's just,
One other thing I want to throw out there too. WNBA. If you did not pick the Las Vegas Aces, I'm not a big bettor, but if you didn't pick them, go pick them. And if you can pick the runner-up, pick the New York Liberty. And if you could pick an MVP, pick Breanna Stewart. Those are my picks. I would almost say those are locks in my opinion. I don't watch it particularly much, but Breanna Stewart gets a lot of usage. Sabrina Ionesco feeding her the ball, and the Las Vegas Aces with Becky Hammond, the coach, and the star-studded roster they have, they better stink and win. And if they don't, it's one of the biggest upsets in sports history that nobody will probably talk about. But those are my picks for WNBA, in case anybody wanted to know.
I got the Aces and Stewart, Nate. I'm taking your advice.
Yep.
Taking your advice. So hopefully you make me some money.
I hope so, man.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing better than betting on sports. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now.
Drew also plus 4,500 confirmed for the Steelers Super Bowl. I just
take it. Take that motherfucker. Put 50 on it. If you make a decent amount of money, it doesn't matter. Actually, I don't really give a shit what you make a year. Put 50 on the goddamn Steelers. It's going to be a payout. You can take your hoochie or your loved one, whoever the hell you love in your life. Take them to Vegas or wherever the hell you want to. Take them to a nice dinner. Cole, a nice establishment. If you're in the Olean area, head over to the Beef and Barrel. Get that fucking top shelf whiskey. Fuck it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Put the bet in. Also, I just got to say this. Cole, at my goal this year in every Steeler game, I'm going to have a cigar. I'm going to get this fucking mobster hat, and I'm going to be running fucking numbers all day. All fucking day. And that's going to be a part of the segment with the Buckle Up with the Boys. I'm going to be here.
Can't wait to see it.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Is that everything, folks? Is that Cole looks like he needs to get to bed.
Yeah. I've had too many last final things. I'm good. I promise.
All right. You're good. I'm good.
Cole's getting a little sleepy over there. But all right. Anyways, all right. I appreciate everybody as always. I will, again, I got to wrap this fucking thing up here. You get this card if you fucking entered the giveaway. It's not fucking fake, people. I didn't have the fucking time to get it graded. Okay, people are like, do another giveaway. It's literally one of my prized possessions. I love this son of a bitch.
It's the Hines Ward card that Drew Billy signed his name off.
No, I did not sign it. No. Look, you can see. I don't have that steady hand. Here. I'll just call you. Here, I'll show you. Okay, no.
Hines Ward Hall of Famer someday.
There's my signature right there. Okay, there's no way that's me. There's no way I did that. Okay.
I was gonna say, put the card up there. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
If you went slow enough, you could have pulled it off.
You should wait and hold on to that. He's going to be a Hall of Famer someday.
Well, there's kids. Oh, someone's really fucking excited in the comments. All right, we got to wrap this up. You can talk to me, message me on my social media. Ultra Mom. I got a mom in the comments. Anyway.
All right.
All right. Anyway, I don't know whose mom it is, but hey, thank you for watching. Anyways, I want to thank everybody. Holy shit, what an ending to the show. You never know what the fuck's going to happen. You might have fire alarms going off in the background. Let me just wrap this up. God bless. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. Again, this is another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys with fucking handsome Nate Stice, Trevor Ninsmore, and ex-pro Cole Peterson. We appreciate it as always, and we'll be back again with another episode next week. Thank you. Also, all gas, no brakes. Jesus Christ, put the fucking pedal to the metal. All right, we're good to go. All right.